Hey guys, how's it going? Christmas week. Lots of stuff going on. In the last video, I'd gotten the base coat done on the box of the truck. It's been blowing here like 90 km/h winds, 50, 55 mile an hour gusts. So, it's a little too windy to spray the clear. It's coming from the south, which is straight at me, at my garage door, and that's where I put my exhaust fans. So it actually overpowers the fan. So I'm going to wait till the wind dies down a bit. But yeah, we're going to get the box clear coated, and we got to bring the truck in, address some suspension issues. There's no suspension in the rear of this truck at all. It doesn't budge. The shackles are maxed out, all the way to the back. There's no movement whatsoever. So yeah, we got to address that, get new shocks on, and get the box back on the frame, make this truck whole again. So let's just go to it. Okay, so sprayed it with clear last night. I had to wait till fairly late. The wind was crazy, and it was blowing, straight in at the door, so it was overpowering my fans. I had to wait for it to die down a bit, and got her shot with clear, four good coats. So now that that's done, I can wet sand it and buff it. I think I'm going to do that before I put it back on the frame. So yeah, that's what I'm going to get after right now. Okay, so here's the plan. I'm going to get the box off that cart and pull the cart away. We'll scooch it over to this side of the garage, open the big door, use the winch, pull the truck in from outside, and then we'll go over the suspension things that I got to do, and then we'll drop the box back on the frame. Just charging the battery now for the winch. The reason I don't start the truck is it's got bad plugs and it floods real easy, and it's just not worth the trouble. So it's easier to just use the winch, pull it in, and go from there. So that's where I'm at, and gonna get after it. Okay, so excuse me. No, it's not COVID. Anyway, I got the truck in. A little bit of dicking around. I was gonna show it on time lapse, but the battery was low, and my setup wasn't working right, so I had to rig up something new, so it just didn't work out. Anyway, it's not a big deal. It's in the house, and I'm gonna get underneath it and show you where we're going with the suspension fixes that I have to do, and then we'll get after that. So yeah, let's get at it. Okay, so let's get underneath over here at the back. Gotta bend down here. So you can see how this is at an angle like this. It's maxed out at the back. So these are factory rivets, there and there, but there's exact set of matching holes right here and over here. So that tells me that this is factory, because those are factory rivets. So what tells me is that these springs and the rear axle are from a different truck, and these springs are longer than what was in here originally. So if I knock out these rivets, move this whole piece over here, that'll bring it center with the spring. So that's what we got to do. Knock out those rivets, move that back, and the only other thing I got to do is put my shocks in. So that's not a big deal. So anyway, I'll probably go to time lapse and get on cutting those rivets out, and we'll be back after that. Okay, so like everything else in this truck, this little 1.5 hour job turned into an actual total shit show. Besides these 4 rivets, right, there's 2 on the inside here as well. You can see the holes from them down there, right? So cut those out as well, and there's the piece, the spring perch. It didn't move. Totally seized up in here. I used a crowbar. I used whatever I could to try and free it up. There's no way. So I couldn't unbolt the bolt. It was seized up. So I cut the heads off and got the bracket off. So there's the bracket. I'll clean that up. I'll grind these flush, the 2 rivets, mount that thing back up. But now I need a bushing, and I've been using the zip gun, you know, that little sucker there, to get the rest of this. So I got to clean up the rest of this stuff, get it out of there, and now I'm going to need a bushing. And without a bushing, I can't do anything. I can't move this thing because I've got, you know, I'm using the my cherry picker to hold the frame up, so I can't move the truck. The box is on the hoist. I can't move that, so I'm screwed. If I don't get a bushing tomorrow or Christmas Eve day, I'm screwed. But you know, I thought I did have some bushings and dug them out, but there they are. But these are too big. These are 1.75 inches. I need 1.5 inches. So hopefully I've got time to run around in the morning, get some bushings, and get this thing back together. You know, I started this after shoveling first thing this morning. I started this after eating lunch, so you know, early afternoon, and it's now almost 10 o'clock at night, and I'm still dicking around with this thing. Just seems everything I've touched on this it's been a shit show. So yeah, I'm kind of screwed for now. I'm gonna have a couple of ice cold pops and you know, commiserate. And that's the worst part. I did open one already and I spilt the damn thing. So nothing worse than losing a beer on top of all of this crap. Anyway, in the morning when I get the bushings, we'll come back to her. So that's the result of the carnage. This is, you know, the outer sleeve, the rubber, and the center pin. The bolt is still in there. It's seized inside that sleeve, solid. That's the head of the bolt that I cut off, and assorted shrapnel. This is what a new one looks like. So yeah, it was an ordeal, and you know, I ended up having to put a lot of fire on this thing and get a cherry red. I have a socket the exact same outside diameter as the bushing, and just drove it through with beating it with a hammer. Yeah, it took a long time, but anyway, it's mounted up. That's the way it's supposed to look. Now the problem is the other side is worse. Not only is the top bushing seized, but it's also seized down here in the bottom. And I don't know if you can see that or not, but this bolt is welded all the way around. Same as on the nut on the inside. And that nut is recessed inside of a channel, so I can't even get to it to cut it. So I soaked it with WD, and I've been working it with a crowbar and whatever, trying to break it free. If that doesn't work, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. But yeah, I can't line the bracket up with the holes until I got movement both ways. So that's where I'm at, and man, this sucks. Okay, so what I ended up doing, I heated up the bolt, cherry red, as well as the nut on the other side, and I threw it in the snowbank, and boom, freed it up. So that's a win. I'm glad that worked. I burnt the rubber a little bit, but nothing serious. So it's going to work. Now I've just got to knock the bushing out of the leaf spring and put the new one in and bolt it all back together. And I'm going to call it done. It's Christmas Eve, so I'm glad I didn't have to go out and get another bushing for the shackles. But anyway, we're good to go, finally. Okay, after 2 days of dicking around, all I got done was to make this mess. No, it's done. It's standing on its own again. The other side is the same as this. Everything's working. I don't know if you can, but it's got some good bounce to it now. Before it didn't move at all. It was solid. So all I got to do is put my shocks on. I'm going to put my shocks on after the box, only because the shocks are sitting in a box, in the box, and I can't get to them right now because I don't have enough room to open the tailgate. So it's not a big deal. Pop the wheels off, put the shocks on. Only one thing, the shock mount that was here, it was loose and it was hanging. It wasn't tightened up. So I put a wrench on it, and the reason it wasn't tightened up is because the threads were stripped. So it's a mangled up mess. I don't know if you can see that, but you know, the threads are gone. So I can either buy another one or weld that one in. I'm choosing to weld it in. So I'm going to weld it in first. I'm going to use an oversized nut on the inside of the frame. Slide it on there. I'll weld the nut to the frame, and then weld the shock mount to the nut on the inside. And then I'm going to weld the nut here all the way around the hole in the frame. So it'll be solid, and putting on the shocks is not a big deal. So I'm ready to weld that in and then put the box on the frame. Finally. Unbelievable. So, like I said, it's Christmas Eve. You know, changing bushings on springs, the truck's in place, springs are in place. It's a real pain in the ass. If I didn't have torches, no way. Anyway, normally I would take the springs off, you know, bring them into the spring shop, get them to press out the old bushings, put the new ones in, pick them up, done, you know. But whatever, it's done now. And like I said, it's Christmas Eve. I got to go in, clean up, and pig out on turkey dinner. And after that, I'll probably tear into a box of ice cold pops and have a few of those, and wait for that fat bastard in the funny red suit to show up, because I want to give him shit for messing up my shingles last year with his freaking sleigh. So tomorrow, Christmas Day, after doing the Christmas gift opening and all that stuff and breakfast, I'm going to drop the box back on the frame. And yeah, the truck will be one again. So have a good Christmas. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so it's Christmas Day. Late morning, did the gift thing, had big breakfast, good to go. So I come out here, welded the shock mount in. That's the inside part. I used this big nut here. The reason I did that is because that thing was so sloppy and rattling around, it had ovaled up the hole and made it really sloppy. So at least here I got a nice tight hole, round hole for it to fit in. So I welded it in, and you know, I welded this too on this side. So it's solid. I installed the shock on the right side, and when I opened the box, they were included with the shock, so I could have just bolted another one on. But you know, with the hole being that oval, I'm I'm glad I welded it. It's way more solid. And yeah, so I'm going to put this shock on, and suspension is complete, and we're going to drop the box on the frame. So here we go. Okay, so as I was pushing this back, I noticed that the fuel tank strap wasn't connected, and actually it didn't reach. So I just added a bolt, welded it on, and it's fastened now, it's secure. So yeah, I can finish pushing this in, line up the holes, and drop her down. Okay, so she's down sitting on the frame, and you can see right here that the box is a little bit lower than the cab, and I expected that completely. I dropped it down there so that I could see the thickness of the rubber that I'm going to need to bring it up flush, because you like to have a little bit of rubber between the box and the frame. So it looks to me about 1/4 of an inch, maybe 5/16. I've got some different thicknesses of rubber, and I'll just pry it up with a bar from underneath, slip the rubber in, and line up the holes and bolt her down. So yeah, we're in good shape. Okay, well, it's Boxing Day. It's supposed to clear up and be sunny all day. So I pushed the truck outside. I've got the hood and 2 other little pieces to paint, so I want to get that done today. There's still a ton of wet sanding and buffing to do on it, but you can see how everything lines up. The stripes are nice and straight, and I am super stoked with how it looks. It came out great. So yeah. Well, anyway, it's all good. Box is bolted down, no issues. So we'll get on that, and putting the hood on and all that stuff will be in the next video. So there you go. That's how I do a 2-tone paint job on a square body. You know, I had one guy message me asking, why did I put the stripe in the wrong place? It's a custom paint job. There's no such thing as wrong place. You can put it anywhere I want. I think it looks clean. You know, it's a little bit different than everybody else's, and I like it. I think it turned out great. That thing's really going to pop on the road, man. Yeah, I've got the hood to spray and 2 other little pieces. Gonna get that done today. That'll be in the next video. And get the hood on, some buffing, and you know, that's about it. This thing will be going down the road, heading home towards the end of this week. So yeah, we're gonna be saying goodbye to the square body. There'll be one more video on it, and that's it. Anyhow, it's Boxing Day, and hope everybody had a good Christmas. And you know, I know I think I've been eating more than doing any work. Really, it's just keep shoveling it in, man. But yeah, so Boxing Day, things are settling down now, and everything's quiet. And you know, also have a good New Year. If you want to do something nice for Christmas, hit the subscribe button. Hit the little bell. I'd appreciate it. And it would bring me great joy. What else? Yeah, have good holidays. And you know, the weather has been crazy here. In the past week or so, it got like +11 and rain, pouring rain. Then it got down to 28 below zero, which is 18 below zero Fahrenheit for my American friends. And then yesterday, Christmas Day, it was +5 and rain, freezing rain. And now it's 10 below again. It's up and down like a yo-yo. But yeah, it's all good. I'm glad this thing is wrapping up. It's really kicked my ass. You know, it seems like every little job took 3 times as long as it should, or 10 times as long as it should. But hey, that's the way it goes with old stuff once in a while. Anyway, check us out on Facebook, Dirty Dan's Rod and Cycle. There's over 900 people on there. A lot of pictures, before and after stuff, progress pictures, all kinds of stuff. And you know, if you don't do anything else, get out in the garage and build something, man. Happy holidays, folks.